Good morning and welcome back to Living on a UK State Pension. My name's Tanya. I'm 69 years old and for the next 4 weeks I'm going to be living on my UK State Pension and saving my civil service pension to put back money into my savings from my renovation overspend and the furniture that I bought. Anyway, thanks for watching. It does mean a lot to me. I've got a lovely following of subscribers, hardcore subscribers I should say, and yeah, I'm really pleased with how the channel has gone over the last almost year now. Time is ticking, isn't it? So I've got a lovely sunny day today. I've been up, Bertie's been to the beach because I've put a line of washing out and I'm going to do a little bit of shopping shortly. Now, I've just had a message on my phone from Iceland to say that today only, and I'm not going to get this up in time, so this is where it is important that when you join any of these apps, you agree to notifications because they will send you information. Now, today only, they have got matchmakers for £1. It doesn't say it's got to be included on a delivery because sometimes that is the snag. They've got to be, you can only get them for that price if you agree to a delivery. Doesn't say that, so I'm going to pop down because I've got to go out. Hoping to sort some bags out over the next week, ready as Christmas bags to put in the bottom of my wardrobe. And every time I buy something for one of the bags, it can go in straight away. So there'll be 4 bags for my grandchildren and 2 bags for my daughters in there. So 6 bags altogether. And I am going to get a selection of other bits and pieces. I'm not going to say, I don't mind mentioning the chocolates, but I know occasionally one of my grandsons watches me. Well, a couple of my grandsons watch me. So I'm not going to say exactly what's going in there, but every time I can get something cheaper than what it normally would be, it's going in the bag. I've come on here today, this is an introduction before another cookery thing, which is chicken tray bake. It's all over the internet, high protein, well, good protein, I should say, rather than high protein. Good protein because of the chicken and the chickpeas, and good fibre because of all the veg that goes in it. 1 tray and I will get it to make 5 meals. So that is wonderful. 1 action, I've got 5 meals sorted. I won't be having them on repeat. 3 of them will go in the freezer and 2 in the fridge. So I'll probably have 1 tonight and 1 Saturday or Sunday, depending, because I am going out over the weekend with a friend. So yes, came on really to tell you about my ATM disaster, and it was a disaster. Monday, as you know, my state pension came in, so I popped along to the cash point in order to get my money out and put my card in. Before I even had a chance to say what service I wanted or even put my number in, it flashed up out of service. Then it kept flashing the screen repeatedly. I could see my card in the lips, but I couldn't grab it. I mean, I've got nails and I could not grab it. It was holding onto my card so tight. It flash, 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 screen went blank, out of service. My card disappeared. Gentleman came out of the shop because it's in front of the local co-op, this cash point, and he said, "Has it swallowed your card?" And I said, "Yes." He said, "I was doing it all day yesterday." I looked at him in absolute disbelief and he said, "Did it to a guy," he said, and he hung around and it spat it back out again once it had reset itself. Well, I thought, I haven't got time to hang around. I've got things to do. I've got a dog at home, etc. So Bertie's just let himself in. That's why the door's open. And I thought, I haven't got time to mess around like this. So I got my mobile phone out. Thank the Lord, the other week I memorised my customer number. And it is a flipping good job I did, because otherwise no one would have wanted to speak to me. So I phoned the Nationwide, and it said you can provide one of three things in order to get through the first part of like security: your customer number, your account number, or the long number across your card. Well, the latter two are on my card, which I no longer had because it was in the machine. So I was able to give my customer number. Then they asked me for my PIN number, which I put in. And finally I got to speak to somebody while I remained in front of the machine. I did tell a guy who came up, don't use it, it will swallow your card. And she put a stop on my card straight away, and she said, I'll order you a new one, but it won't be with you till Friday. So I said, well, how do I get money? How do I get money? I need money. My pension has come in today and I need some money. So she said, well, haven't you got another bank account? Like, it is normal to have two current accounts in two different banks. So I said, well, no, I haven't. She said, well, have you got a credit card? Can you get some cash on your credit card? So I said, but they charge you for cash on a credit card. Why should I pay for that when none of this is my fault technically? I know it's not yours, neither, but this must happen to more than one person. So that she then said, anybody in your family loan you some money, and then when you get the opportunity, transfer it from your bank account. So I said, well, how am I going to do that? Because I need my card for my card reader in order to go online. So she said, oh no, there's two other ways you can go online. She said, you'll have to agree to one of the other ways. Made it sound so simple, she did. So I said, okay. I said, but obviously I do need another bank account, which I will sort as soon as I can. So I will be looking for another bank account that I keep some money in, hide the card, but it's a way, if anything like this happens again, I can go and get some money. So I came home, phoned my daughter. I was quite prepared to leave the cash machine because even if it did spit my card out, nobody could use it. Came home, phoned my daughter, said to her, you know, when you come over later today, because she was coming over to actually see my niece, my great niece, I said, do you think you could bring me some money? And in a minute, when I sort my bank account, I'll transfer the money over to you. She said, yes, I've got some money in the drawer, Mum. How much do you want? I said, well, can you bring me at least 100? Because that will get me started until Friday when new card comes through. So indeed she did. So I then got my laptop out. Oh my goodness, what a rigmarole. Yes, you can get in another way, but again, you've got to know your sort code because you have to re-register for a different style of banking. So I had to know my sort code and my account number. They're on my card and I don't have my card. I know this might sound crazy to some people, you've got all this information written down, but in all the years I've been doing banking and using ATMs, this has never happened to me. Perhaps I'm lucky, perhaps I'm lucky. So after digging various drawers out and boxes, etc., I found an old checkbook. Yep, an old checkbook. An old checkbook that had my sort code and my bank account number in it. Otherwise, I couldn't have gone any further. I would have had to have gone back on the phone again. So then it said, put your PIN number in. I put my PIN number in, it wouldn't accept it. So I then had to go through the rigmarole of it sending me a new a way of getting a new PIN number, as in my banking PIN, not my card PIN number. This, oh my goodness, it must have been 40 minutes before I finally could get in and transfer money. So I've had to write all this information down in different places because it's dangerous, isn't it? You know, I mean, like most people, you've probably got a little password book, but I try to keep things as brief as possible in the password book in case anyone breaks in and finds it. I mean, the good thing is I do keep my current account very lean so that they can't do anything. They can't grab money or anything. But yeah, it's taught me a lesson. It certainly taught me a lesson that A, I need to keep a bit of cash at home, and B, have a second bank account, because your bank really isn't interested in you when you need them. And that I can say, because she said, oh, I'm sorry, you know, we can't do it. I said, isn't there an arrangement whereby you can contact the local, my local branch, which isn't probably open till about Wednesday, where I can go along and get some cash without my card, with some other form of ID, you know. In actual fact, could I present a cheque and get it cashed? Because I haven't got my card. No, you know, just dead end. But anyway, fingers crossed my card arrives and I'm back to normal. Because the other thing, I went into a shop, went to do something, realised I hadn't got my card. So although I had cash, I put the cash in my grocery and I was buying something else that would have been out of my spend save, which I haven't been able to get the money out for that yet because I've got no card. So I'm living on the few pounds that I've got, hence me dragging out my grocery shop this week because I can't get to the bank to get any money out to replace what my daughter gave me. I used £95 to put on the Iceland card. It was a good job she brought 150 down because it saved my life. Otherwise, I wouldn't have been able to buy any food to start this week. So anyway, I put the money on the Iceland card straight away. I'll quickly show you. Well, cash, I made it up with cash. And as you can see, it went up to £100, my balance. And by the time I got home, my balance was £105. Now, the main bonus of £15 doesn't go in till the 22nd, I believe. I believe Asda are a little bit ahead of that. I think theirs is a week earlier. But I will put it up on the screen when the dates are due for the bonuses. I've had a mission for Asda come on my phone, notification, and it's for dog food. You spend £5, they put £2 into your cash pot. So that's exactly what I'm going to do as well. It's my turn to buy Bertie's dry mix. So I'll go down and get one of those. They're £5 something, £5.24, £5.48 a bag. So I'll get £2 back on that straight away. And it's all going to help. So next is the chicken tray bake. I hope you enjoy it. And I'll be back on Monday after I've done some grocery shopping when I get my bank card. What a disaster. There we are. That's how much we rely on technology. And technology is an absolute swine when it goes wrong. Thanks for watching. This is the start of the chicken tray bake that I'm going to do. Should make 5 meals for me. The reason I'm doing it, I need some meals for the freezer, and this is a healthy one. It contains chickpeas as well for protein, Don't peel your potatoes, because we're adding the fibre of the chickpeas, the fibre of the potatoes. I'm adding onion and celery and peppers. So I've chopped the potatoes fairly evenly. Some bits are bigger than others. That means some will crisp up more than others. So again, you're adding texture. Just going to give a couple of sprays of olive oil. This is when I wish I had one of those big, powerful olive oil sprayers, which I may treat myself to one next month when I let go of the reins a little bit more, because I think they're about £9 to buy, but well worth the money. So with clean hands, next are drained chickpeas. Incidentally, this is about 600 grams of potato chopped up. I did weigh them, because if I'm going to try and get 5 meals out of it, so it's just over 100 grams of potato per portion, and that is a, let's see, 240 grams drained weight of beans, so divide by 6. Technically you should have 40 grams of chickpeas in each portion as well. Now I have a mandolin, so I can slice my onion very thinly, and that's exactly what I've done. This is one medium onion sliced very, very thinly. I shall spray again in a minute. And this is the very last of the celery that I've got. So that's all done. I love my mandolin. For any new viewers out there, it's about 20 years old. But to me, it's worth its weight in gold. Yes, it's stained. Lost the guard for it, but I use a guard from something else when I'm slicing stuff. So next, we have peppers. Now these have been frozen and defrosted. We are. I might add the liquid, won't do any harm, will it? Next ingredient, I shall chop this here, because it's still a little bit frozen. So I'm adding a whole bag of my reduced 400 gram chicken fillets. Small mini chicken fillets, I believe they are. Yep. I shall move you over now. There we are. And I got them for £2.08, 400 grams there. And I did separate part of them just in case, but I'm using the whole lot in this recipe. I'm just going to cube it. Shall mix it all round with my hands in a moment, and then I shall put the fajita mix on it. This is quite a mild one. It's not a hot one, but I'm going to add a few chili flakes, I think. There we are. I shall mix it with my hands while I've got chicken on them. Then I shall wash my hands. There we are. Automatically wash my hands, sorry. I was going to leave them with the chicken on, but there we are. I've used a bit of greaseproof paper at the bottom that I sprayed a little bit of cooking oil on, that I sprayed some olive oil on. Just wash my hands and I'll open the fajita mix. There we are. While my oven's on, cooking this, I'll be making half of the sponge I bought to see what it's like. From what I gather, I can use the whole sachet. As I said, I am going to be finding out whether I can make my own fajita mix out of the most popular ingredients. Does seem quite a bit. I'll leave that until I have a taste. Get a spoon and a fork. Oops. Lost some overboard. Where did you go? Pick them up. That's where you went. So one more tip of the powder. Now that's it. Got a spoonful left. I shall taste it. More sprays of oil. And then it's going to go in an oven 180. For about 40 minutes, but I shall check it after 30. Check whether the potatoes are cooked. There we are. And that should make 5 meals for me. I should be able to split it into 5 portions. Oh, salt and pepper. Nearly forgot. Nearly forgot. There. Salt. Pepper. I'm on the last of the pepper. I need to fill it up. I bought pepper. Needs filling up. Add a shake of garlic granules. There we are. That's that. And a few chili flakes. There we are. That's that. And that's going in the oven. I meant to say cover the top with foil, which I've just done, sorry. Put some foil on the top. Now for the new sponge mix that I got, because I can't get the cheap one. So I've halved it, I've used half. So 200 grams of this one, which was 155, I believe. And it says add 2 eggs, so I'm going to add 1 egg, 10 tablespoons of water. So I'll add 5 tablespoons of water. Because I'm adding courgette and banana, that's already got water out of the freezer in them. So I shall drain the water off that. I shall go by texture. I'm just going to put some air into this. I'm going to add a bit of baking powder as well. Level teaspoon. And then I'm going to mix that in because it's a bit lumpy in the tub. In goes the courgette, still a bit frozen, but break it up. Banana's sloppy enough, and I shall add the egg. And then we'll give it its first mix with liquid in it. I'll pick the biggest egg I've got. So I've only got medium eggs. There we are. I'm going to add some cinnamon, and then I shall add, I'm only going to add another 20 mils of liquid at this moment in time. So I feel the bananas and the courgette that's come out of the freezer is wet. Got some new cinnamon last week in my shop, or earlier this week I should say. 1, 2, because I do like a good taste of cinnamon. And that is nice and fresh, so should have all the zing to it. Beat again. Lined my tin. Now, fingers crossed we get a decent sponge out of half a bag. I mean, it's 3 times the cost of the other sponge mix, 3 times. Another one was 53p, this was 155. So virtually 3 times. And you've got to add double the amount of eggs. Now, is that because there's more mixture? Is this going to come out nice and tall and spongy? Or is it going to be as flat as a pancake? Who knows? Anyway, there we are. Check the packet. Right, place in cupcakes or tin. 170 for a fan oven, gas mark 5, 15-20 minutes. Well, that's going to take a little bit longer as it's a loaf tin, but I can turn that down to 170. Right, the last thing I'm going to make while the oven is on, my main oven, because I only switch it on every now and again, maybe once a week, once a fortnight, depending on how many things I can put in it, which reminds me I could put baked potato in there. for tomorrow lunchtime, just a small one. This potato in the microwave for 4 minutes in a moment, then that can go in the oven. And that will do me a lunchtime, along with this quiche. So one of the days when I don't have quiche, because this cut into 4, it's a potato bottom. I've shown you how I do this before. Put a little bit of greaseproof paper. I do grease it with olive oil. Mash the potato onto it. This went in my air fryer for 10 minutes on 205. 10 minutes just to dry it out and make it hard. In here is one of my small portions that when I wasn't going to use my cottage cheese up, I had saved in a muffin tin. I've got one more left, one more portion. As you can see by the size of it, it's one portion of cottage cheese. To that, I'm going to add real cheese, as I call it. I'm going to add cheddar cheese. And there's about 25 grams here, but I'm going to leave some for the top. So I'll leave that for the top. I'm going to beat that together. I'm going to add an egg. And you need 1 egg because of the 1 large egg, because of the cottage cheese. Maybe a drop of milk. Right, I'm going to put that on my NutriBullet. Sorry, I honestly don't know where I got to. All I've done in the bottom of this is onion, pepper, celery, done on the in a frying pan. Tip that out, blended this, poured it over the top and added cheese to it. I have seasoned it as well. There we are, I've just got everything out of the oven. This tastes lovely. Next time I will add some cut tomatoes in there to add a bit more liquid to it. But I have to say it is very, very nice. So I'm looking forward to having it to eat for tea. A portion of it with a bit of salad. The quiche is cooked and solid, and I turned it over to make sure the bottom got brown. So that's done. And the sponge, look, come out well. Looks a bit pale compared to what it usually does, but I have to say it's a much more even bake than the other sponge. Why, I don't know. And 1 small baked potato for tomorrow lunchtime. Oh, that's got a kick to it. But I did add chilli flakes, so I'll portion that up. 5 portions I'm expecting out of it. And then I can have it with a large salad. 4 very large portions. It would still, for me, it would still come out way under £1 because obviously I didn't pay the full price for the chicken. But I still think you could bring this in for £1 a portion. £1.10, £1.20, depending on how extravagant with other bits and pieces that you put in, how much chicken. But don't forget the chickpeas are also protein. I've heated up the tray baked chicken. I've made a salad. And this is my homemade tomato chili jam with a spoon of mayonnaise in it. This is a beautiful texture cake, and I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 slices there. 14 slices, so that will do me for the next 2 weeks. All good. So I'm going to enjoy this. Thank you for watching. Bon appetit.